So the chair now recognizes herself for 5 minutes. Today we are considering 16 pieces of legislation intended to modernize the Federal Trade Commission's ability to pursue its consumer protection mission. For over 100 years, the FTC has been the premier federal consumer protection agency. But despite its broad mandate to protect consumers and to promote competition, the Commission has been sorely under-resourced for decades now. Today, it has a smaller staff and fewer resources than other consumer protection regulators. And however, it is a new era for the Federal Trade Commission now. In a breath of fresh air, the Commission held 2 open meetings this month. These public accessible meetings increase transparency and public input on important topics like the Made in USA rule and right to repair. It's time to recommit to restoring the culture of the FTC to put consumers first. Many of the 16 bills that we are considering today will help them to accomplish this mission. These include the Online Consumer Protection Act, which I have introduced and with Representative Castor. This legislation will hold technology platforms accountable for failure to live up to the promises that they made with their made to consumers in their terms of service. The 21st Century FTC, Act, sponsored by Representative Castor, and my own FTC Autonomy Act, will provide the Commission with additional enforcement tools, including rulemaking, civil penalties, and independent litigation authority. Legislation from our colleagues, Representative Rush and McNerney, will give the Commission authority over consumer protection violations by nonprofit organizations and telecommunications communications carriers. A few of the bills that are being considered today will allow the FTC to more efficiently police scams that target vulnerable groups. This includes bipartisan legislation from Representatives Rice and Upton, focusing on fraud affecting military veterans and service members. And legislation from Representative Kelly would establish a task force to bolster the communications work, the Commission's work on equity issues, and would inform the public about scams targeted specifically to other groups. Representative McNerney has legislation that would create the Office of Technologists to provide additional technical assistance to the Commission and update in every technology consideration. Today, these bills will forge a new path forward for the Federal Trade Commission. I'm going to ask my ranking member for permission to go over time. As you can see, I do have some reading issues that are hampering me in some ways. It's a physical thing that I've got. Okay, thank you very much. So today, these bills will forge a new path forward for the Federal Trade Commission. They strengthen the Commission's consumer protection capacity and provide the tools necessary to guide today's increased innovation and dynamic marketplace. It is essential that the Commission have the tools it needs to hold technology platforms accountable. The era of self-regulation is over. Self-regulation has threatened our democracy and now threatened our health and our very lives as vaccine misinformation continues to spread across social media. Consent decrees and fines have proven ineffective in improving the behavior of technology companies. Violation after violation underscores that stronger enforcement enforcement tools are urgently needed. The American people deserve a 21st century consumer protection agency that meets 21st century threats. And I am looking forward to hearing from the witnesses that are here today on how modernizing the Federal Trade Commission and protecting consumers can happen. I want to say a special thank you to our witnesses. I'm so grateful to the commissioners who are all here today, 3 virtually and 2 in person. Thank you so much. And also from our experts that we will hear for the second panel. The chair, thanks for the indulgence. I'm practicing on how to use my new disability to speak more properly, but here we are.